There comes a moment when your heart stops begging for lessons and starts demanding peace. And it is in that moment, when you stop glorifying suffering, that love finally recognizes you. Marriage doesn't arrive when you chase pain. It arrives when you choose yourself. There is a common story many people live out without realizing it. The story that love must be hard to be real. Somewhere along the way, we learn to associate worthiness with struggle. We believe that relationships filled with confusion, mixed signals, and emotional tug-of-war were somehow deep. We called heartbreak romantic. We called longing passion. We convinced ourselves that the more we sacrificed, the more we proved our love. But the truth is far more gentle than that. Marriage, true, lasting, soul-aligned marriage, does not come to the one who is obsessed with suffering. It comes to the one who has healed their heart enough to believe that love can be kind, steady, and effortless in its truth. When you stop romanticizing struggle, something remarkable begins to shift inside you. You stop chasing people who are emotionally unavailable, because you no longer see their inconsistency as a challenge you must conquer. You stop trying to fix others, because you learn that real love is not about saving someone, it is about growing with someone. You stop overgiving to be chosen, because you finally realize that the right person will choose you without being convinced. This shift does not come from bitterness or disappointment. It comes from wisdom. It comes from the moment you finally say, I deserve ease where my heart rests. Marriage finds you when you realize that love is not an uphill battle, but a natural unfolding. When you have matured emotionally, you start attracting partners who have matured as well. Your energy changes, your boundaries sharpen, your self-respect strengthens, and with that, your presence itself becomes a filter. People who only want temporary affection will not feel comfortable around you anymore. People who want to waste your time will walk away on their own. And those who are ready, truly ready for commitment, will be drawn to the warmth of your stability. Love does not come to the exhausted heart, it comes to the heart at peace with itself. There is a quiet confidence in someone who has healed from emotional struggle. They no longer chase validation. They no longer need someone to fill a void. They no longer use relationships as proof that they are lovable. Instead, they know who they are. They know what they offer. And they are willing to wait, not out of desperation, but out of faith. Marriage finds this person because they finally embody the vibration of partnership. They know how to give love without losing themselves. They know how to receive love without fear. They know how to communicate rather than react. And above all, they know that peace is a non-negotiable part of love. Many people wonder why relationships keep repeating the same painful patterns. The answer is simple yet profound. You attract what you believe you deserve. If somewhere within you, you still believe that struggle is romantic, that love must be earned, that devotion must be proven through pain, then life will continue to send you people who mirror that belief. You will continue to love those who cannot love you back, because a part of you still thinks that is what love is supposed to feel like. But when you challenge that belief, everything changes. You start valuing gentleness over chaos. You start recognizing loyalty in consistency. You start appreciating the simple beauty of someone who chooses you every day, without drama. The moment you let go of romanticizing struggle, you make space for real love to enter. Because real love is not loud. It is not a storm. It is not a battlefield. Real love is a warm morning light. It is the calm presence that eases your breathing. It is the soft assurance that you are safe. Real love does not make your heart race with anxiety. It makes your heart settle. And marriage, the true sacred union of souls, can only rest in a heart that is ready for stillness. Choosing peace does not mean choosing boredom. It means choosing alignment. It means choosing someone who sees you, understands your emotional language, and does not make loving them feel like a puzzle. It means choosing partnership instead of performance. It means choosing growth instead of survival. A marriage that is built on peace becomes a home for both souls to expand, not shrink. And that kind of love becomes something both gentle and powerful, soft and strong, rooted and rising. Some people think choosing yourself means closing the door to love. But the opposite is true. Choosing yourself is the doorway to love. When you stop begging to be loved, you make room to be cherished. When you stop chasing, you allow yourself to be found. When you stop proving your worth, you attract someone who already sees it. Marriage does not require you to go to war for affection. It requires you to stand in the truth of who you are, and let the right person meet you there. So if you have been tired, drained, or heartbroken, this is your turning point. Stop glorifying suffering. Stop calling unpredictability passion. Stop assuming you must earn love through pain. Your heart is not a battleground. It is a sanctuary. And the person meant for you will know how to honor that. They will not confuse you. They will not make you doubt your place in their life. They will not require you to lose yourself in order to keep them. They will bring peace, not chaos. Marriage finds you once you have risen above the need to struggle. Once your spirit learns that love is supposed to uplift, not exhaust. Once your soul learns that companionship is supposed to nurture, not drain. Love flows to the one who believes that they deserve it. Not through suffering, but through presence. Not through sacrifice, but through sincerity. Not through fear, but through faith. So today, let this be your declaration. I release the belief that love must be difficult. I welcome a love that is gentle, certain, and stable. I choose peace. I choose healing. I choose myself. And when you make this choice, love will find you not as a rescue, not as a reward, but as a reflection of the peace you have finally allowed into your life. That is when marriage arrives, naturally, beautifully, and right on time. Love becomes real when you stop believing that suffering is proof of devotion. There is no strength in tolerating disrespect, and no honor in loving someone who refuses to meet you halfway. When you detach love from pain, you begin to understand that your heart was never meant to be a battlefield. You start recognizing the difference between passion and emotional instability. The warmth of steady affection begins to feel more valuable than temporary intensity. You learn to walk away from situations that drain your spirit, instead of forcing yourself to endure them. Love should feel like coming home, not losing yourself in someone else. You stop seeking validation from emotional chaos. The need to be strong enough to stay fades. Instead, you become wise enough to leave. You realize that love does not demand your suffering, it simply asks for your presence. And in this realization, love becomes something sacred, not something painful. You attract partners who match the level of peace or chaos within you. The energy you carry becomes the silent language of your relationships. If your heart is unsettled, you will find yourself drawn to others who reflect that turmoil back to you. But once you begin healing, something extraordinary happens. Your choices change. You begin recognizing red flags you once ignored. You stop feeling responsible for fixing others. You start prioritizing emotional clarity over temporary comfort. Your heart becomes less hungry and more discerning. Your soul stops seeking familiarity with pain. You create space for someone whose presence feels like harmony. You learn that connection is not about intensity, but resonance. And the moment your inner world calms, the people who enter your life will carry that same calm within them. Choosing yourself first raises your standards for who is allowed to love you. Self-respect becomes the foundation of every decision you make. You stop giving your time to those who cannot value it. You stop allowing people to come and go as they please. Your boundaries become firm, not out of fear, but out of self-honoring. You learn that someone's love is not worth having if it costs your peace. Your heart no longer confuses attachment with commitment. You show others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. The mirror turns inward, and love begins within. You realize you are not difficult to love. You've simply been offering your love where it was not appreciated. When you choose yourself, the world around you shifts. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. And you welcome only those who can love you at the level you love yourself. A peaceful heart draws commitment. A wounded heart draws confusion. When you are emotionally grounded, you no longer feel the need to question your worth in a relationship. You stop clinging to people who cannot give clarity. You no longer accept half-present affection or inconsistent effort. Peace becomes your internal compass. It guides you toward those who are steady in their intentions. You attract people who do not make you guess how they feel. Your soul stops responding to emotional highs and lows. Instead, it recognizes the safety of calm presence. Confusion was once mistaken for excitement, but now it feels draining. Your heart no longer entertains uncertainty. It invites only those who are ready to stay, ready to build, ready to commit. And in that readiness, love becomes solid. Real love feels steady, not dramatic. It supports your growth, not your anxiety. It gives you room to breathe, not tension that tightens your chest. It encourages your dreams instead of diminishing them. It feels like being seen, not judged. You do not fear losing it, because it is not fragile. You do not have to perform or prove constantly. You are allowed to be human, soft, imperfect, growing. Real love gently holds your heart without suffocating it. It does not punish you for being emotional. It does not punish you for needing reassurance. It brings stability without taking away passion. It brings warmth without demanding suffering. It brings connection without confusion. In real love, your soul rests. The moment you stop chasing, you allow what's meant for you to come. Chasing comes from fear. Fear of not being chosen. Fear of being alone. Fear of losing something temporary. But when you release that fear, you begin to understand that what is meant for you will meet you without force. Love arrives naturally when you no longer feel the need to run after it. You begin valuing your presence instead of begging to be noticed. You understand that your energy is valuable, your love is sacred, and your time is precious. You stop explaining your worth to those who are determined not to see it. You become the one who is pursued, not because you play games, but because you are rooted. Your calm becomes magnetic. Your confidence becomes enchanting, and love finds its way to you effortlessly. Marriage arrives when your soul learns to value emotional clarity over emotional struggle. When you become someone who chooses peace consistently, love aligns with you. You no longer entertain partners who make your heart feel unstable. You stop believing that pain is part of love's identity. You recognize that the right connection feels grounding. Your heart stops racing from fear and starts glowing with certainty. Commitment becomes something you welcome, not something you fear. You begin to trust timing and trust love's natural unfolding. Marriage becomes a reflection of internal maturity, not external pressure. Your soul is ready, open, and prepared to receive. And when you no longer seek love through suffering, love arrives with ease, steady, loyal, and divinely timed.